What is up, guys? Welcome back. Another video here on the Fantasy Fellowship channel. My name's Kyle. Tonight, I'm doing a sleeper mock draft. I'm going to be doing a 12-team full PPR mock draft. I'm going to open up the settings here and show you guys. And I'm going to be doing just like an auto draft league where it's just me drafting with the ADP here. But I think it's good practice to just load one up and just kind of see where ADPs are falling. Especially, I mean, if you can get into a live mock draft, totally do that. But otherwise, I think it's a good idea to just run your own kind of mock draft and see where ADP and things are falling. Let me just open up the draft settings for you guys. So I do have full PPR checked, snake draft as well. 12 teams. I'm going to do a 60-second timer, but that's fine. CPU is going to auto pick. And then you see just everyone's available here. No third round reversal. Let's take a look at the roster settings. We're drafting 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end. I threw 2 flexes in there, kicker defense, and then we'll have 7 guys on the bench here. So we'll see what we can do. I'm going to be drafting from the number 1 pick in this draft tonight. So if this is a spot for you, again, I think it's highly valuable to run as many mock drafts as you can. And if you do play on Sleeper, it's a good idea to just run some mock drafts by yourself. So let's go ahead. I'm going to claim team number 1 here, and we can hop right into this. I'm going to hit start, and we'll put our first player on the board. I think there's a couple ways you can do this. If you want to be super safe, you take Jonathan Taylor. If you like to live dangerously a little bit here, you can take Christian McCaffrey. But I think for me, it's one of the two, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. I have them both ranked here, basically the same player. I do like the Colts offense a little bit more. I trust Matt Ryan. I trust the Colts offense. So to me, the likelihood that Jonathan Taylor is running back 1 is not the greatest. I don't think there's been a running back 1 to repeat in full PPR since like 2003. That was Priest Holmes. So essentially what you're doing, you're taking Jonathan Taylor, expecting him to be a top 3 back. I think that's fair. And again, with the first overall pick, you're just trying not to fudge it up. You're trying to just secure the best player, one of the best talents. Give me Jonathan Taylor. And then we're off. You see a lot of running backs go off the board. Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler. There's Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris at the 6, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams round out the first round. Now, I'll admit this is my first sleeper mock draft that I've ran all year. I do most of my stuff on ESPN. So this is kind of fun and interesting for me to see what's going on here. But you see Stephon Diggs, Chubb, Tyreek Hill. There's Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb falling. That's a little bit too far for me. I liked Lamb earlier. Mark Andrews, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley. There's Josh Allen cracking the second round, and then Deebo Samuel. So we're up to pick. We have 2 picks in a row. I could go running back heavy here. I already have Jonathan Taylor, but I love just locking in that one running back and seeing what kind of happens here. So I could take Javonte Williams. He does look really nice as a running back too. There is Leonard Fournette there as well. I could just take both these guys and just say, let's go and see what happens at receiver. And maybe let's do that. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to lock in Javonte Williams here. In terms of my running back rankings, I do have Javonte as a fringe running back 1. I have him as my RB14. Keep in mind, last year, with the 50-50 split with Melvin Gordon, he was RB17. So that's kind of his floor. I feel good about locking him in as a running back too. And pair him with Jonathan Taylor. That looks really, really fun. Broncos are going to score the ball a lot. And now I have a tough decision. Do I want Leonard Fournette? Do I want one of these potential stud wide receivers or Kyle Pitts? But man, I think maybe locking in Leonard Fournette could be a lot of fun as they flex play. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to lock in Leonard Fournette. We're going to go 3 straight running backs to start this draft. And let's see what happens. And at this point now, I mean, I don't need to take another running back until the double-digit rounds. Like, we are locked in here. And I think all of their buys are not correlating. It looks like Jonathan Taylor round 14, Javonte round 9, Leonard Fournette round 11. So this was kind of fun. After I take Fournette, you see A.J. Brown, Connor, Zeke, Mike Evans, Justin Herbert round 3, Kyle Pitts. That's a good value for him there. You got Keenan Allen, Cam Akers, T. Higgins falling far. I think I would have considered Higgins up at my pick here. Deontay Johnson, Montgomery, Mahomes, McLaurin, a couple tight ends off the board here. DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, super cheap. ETN, Breece Hall, Jacobs, Mike Williams, and Jalen Waddle. So now you see, I mean, I hate the running back value. You got Gibson, Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it looks like we cashed in there, and now we get some fun receivers. I'm surprised. Like, I didn't expect to build a Bronco-heavy team here, but I think I have to take one of my top receivers. I have 25 seconds here. One of the top receivers is still available, and that's Cortland Sutton. I have him as my wide receiver 12, which in the 12-man league, he's a wide receiver 1 for us. So let's go ahead and slap him on the roster. And now I'm looking for another potential receiver. Again, I mentioned I don't love the running backs. The quarterbacks, Lamar, Joe Burrow, these guys are pretty fun here, but I don't know if I need to pull the trigger this early on quarterback. I usually like to wait till later. I mean, at this point, we can maybe get Russell Wilson on the next turn. And then for tight ends, Schultz and Hawkinson, I don't love these guys at the ADP, so I think we're going to continue to hammer wide receivers here. DK Metcalf, a pretty interesting guy here. He's projected to go over 1,000 yards. Jerry Jeudy, we already took Sutton. I'm thinking it's Allen Robinson. He sticks out to me. Also, Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster here. He's ranked really low, but he's the #1 receiver in that Chiefs passing offense. I know Kelsey is there, but Juju Smith-Schuster, I think if you play in ESPN or any other format, Juju sometimes is a 4th or 5th round pick. So I love getting Juju there, but the point remains, I love the receivers in the 4th, 5th, 6th rounds, and we'll see who makes it back to us. You see a lot more receivers coming off the board. Quarterbacks are flying off the board as well as the tight end. So we are back on the clock here. Let me just double check my QBs. Russell Wilson is here. I could do the big Javonte, Cortland Sutton, Russell Wilson stack. That does sound kind of appetizing here. Tight end, I do like Dallas Goedert, but I think at this point, potentially we have one more flex spot to fill. I think that would be my priority. Getting a guy like Rashad Bateman or maybe even Elijah Moore is really appealing. I'm going to go ahead and slap Rashad Bateman in there. Let's see where I have him ranked. Rashad Bateman is my wide receiver 24. There's not too many receivers. I think he was the best available receiver. I do have Elijah here at 26, so he intrigues me a little bit. But all of a sudden, our starting running backs, receivers, and flexes are filled in here. Let's go ahead. And I think the value at quarterback this year is pretty interesting. Usually, I mean, you got Allen, Herbert. Those are kind of the top 2 guys, then Mahomes. And then you get the running quarterbacks, Lamar, Murray, Hurts, and sometimes Joe Burrow. But after that, I think guy that has some of the best upside to crash the top 5 QBs is going to be Russell Wilson. So we'll go heavy Broncos here, and we'll see what we can get. Again, with Javonte Williams being my RB2, he's kind of like, I guess I could put him in my flex too. I like the value of the Broncos offense this year. I think it's going to be very fruitful for fantasy. And now we're just going to go tight end shopping. We'll see what we can get. Zach Ertz goes here. A couple running backs I like in this range. I love A.J. Dillon. I probably should have taken – if I could redo this, I would grab A.J. Dillon. So my bad there. I should have seen that. But Goddard and Ertz almost fall to us. As far as tight ends go, Dawson Knox, still a guy that I really like on the board here. Let me look at the receivers. Olave, Lazard, Christian Kirk. A lot of fun receivers left here as far as running backs go. I do like James Cook. I like Ramondre. A handful of guys here, but we don't really need to reach on running back. Let's go ahead and, again, we have 3 running backs, 3 receivers. I think I got to get some of these wide receivers, and I'm going to go ahead and grab Christian Kirk. I think that's too late for him. He's the #1 receiver in the Jacksonville Jags offense here, so he looks pretty fun. I'm tempted to take Allen Lazard here. I know Dawson Knox looks really, really good here. He's got an ADP of 89. But, man, we could potentially move Christian Kirk up into the starting lineup here. Maybe we'll do that. Let's go ahead and grab Dawson Knox here. We don't have a Buffalo Bills piece. I like the value there. After Knox, the tight end value kind of goes far, and I think most people have Knox ranked as like the tight end 10. But I like Lazard. I'm regretting not taking A.J. Dillon with one of those picks. We could have waited on QB and maybe got Trey Lance here. So that might be the only thing that I regret so far. Passing up on A.J. Dillon, we could have had Trey Lance in there. That might have looked pretty good. But anyways, we're moving and grooving here. We are back up to pick. As far as running backs on the board, you got J-Rob, Madison. I love Nyheim Hines and Dameon Pierce. And as far as full PPR goes, I know I have Jonathan Taylor in there, but it sounds like Nyheim Hines is going to be widely used this season coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my favorite running backs. Again, Nyheim Hines in full PPR looks really good. So does Dameon Pierce. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Dameon Pierce. But for me, I'm going to grab the guy that I know has a weekly role. And again, full PPR, he's just my 4th running back. We can pull him up if need be. Any other tight ends stick out? Alberto, but again, we're already kind of Bronco heavy. Quarterback still on the board. Tua, Fields, Lawrence. I like those guys here. But we grab the running back. Let's get a receiver. George Pickens is a guy going crazy on the boards right now. He's moving up ADP like crazy. But I got to get me some Rondale Moore. I think he's one of my favorite wide receiver values right now, and he's our wide receiver 5. He looked like a guy that they want to use him more, and it wouldn't surprise me if he kind of dings Marquise Brown's value. He's a guy that they can use kind of in the Chase Edmonds role. He's going to get carries. He's going to get short screens and things like that. So Rondale Moore on our bench feels like a good weapon there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more bench spots to fill. Let's see what we can make of it. They're pushing kickers here. I don't know if I love kickers, but, man, George Pickens fell to us. one of the best rookie receiver values you could get. I love Pickens, but John Dotson, another rookie receiver here that I think you should potentially look at. Jalen Tolbert, I like DJ Chark. There's a lot of fun guys here, but we'll go ahead and slap George Pickens on this roster. The guy's been making tons of plays in camp, and people are just raving about him. So I like the value of Mr. Pickens. Let me look at the running backs here. Henderson, Rashad White, Marlon Mack, J.D. McKissick. There we go. Kenneth Gainwell. That's the one I want. He's going to be the primary back I focus on for the Eagles. Dude's going to catch a lot of passes. He's going to lead the team in running back receptions. He's going to be their third down back. He's going to be their 2-minute offense back. And he might even be the goal line back. So Gainwell at that point seems to be like easy value for me, and I'm really liking the depth and value of this team. I think we're doing a pretty good job here. And at this point, I don't need any more running backs. I got 2 more bench spots here. I could take a flyer on a backup QB. We do have Russ Wilson, but Trevor Lawrence, if he's still there, that could be interesting. I don't really, if you play in a 1 QB league, I don't love taking a backup quarterback. It's kind of a waste of a roster spot. But let's see what tight end's available. This one's easy. It's David Njoku, and I know Jacoby Brissett's going to be his quarterback for almost half the year, but you got to admit, Jacoby Brissett has always been, kind of a dink and dunk quarterback. He throws the ball to the tight ends frequently. So I like getting Njoku here as our backup tight end. It looks like his bye does not correlate with Dawson Knox either. So now we have 2 solid options at the tight end. And let's just look at the flex options here. You got Tolbert, DJ Chark. That's the pick right there. I love DJ Chark. We could get J.D. McKissick or Tolbert if we wanted, but people are sleeping on DJ Chark. He's going to be the number 2 receiver for the entire season for the Detroit Lions. And he's, he's there on a 1-year deal looking for his next payday. Jameson Williams is not really a threat to his roster spot. He's going to be the number 2. When Williams does come back and gets in the offense, he's going to probably remove Josh Reynolds from the starting number 3 spot. So I love DJ Chark, just another fun bench piece. And at this point, the draft is done. Like, we just need kicker and defense, so I'll kind of click both. I wish I can click both of them, but I'm not. I guess we have back-to-back picks here. So what do we want as far as the top kickers available? We could go ahead and get the Colts kicker. I don't mind that. I kind of like pairing my running back with the Colts, my running back with the kicker. We'll go ahead and get Rodrigo Blankenship. And then as far as defenses, I mean, week 1, I wish we could see the schedule here. A defense that I have been targeting often has been, and it looks like they've already gone. Looks like the Broncos. Yeah, we just missed on the Broncos defense. They have a juicy schedule to start the year. But maybe, and I'm trying to remember who has the hot starts here, but I don't love any defense here that's currently available. I have 38 seconds to do it. Can I quick pull up the week 1 schedule, NFL schedule week 1, see if I can get to it. I got 30 seconds to do the job. Can I do it? Let's see here. Where's ESPN? ESPN schedule. Week 1, anyone got any easy ones here? 19 seconds to do the job. San Fran, New Orleans, Buffalo, Baltimore. What about Jacksonville against Washington? Maybe Cleveland against Carolina. I do like the Colts against Houston, but it looks like the Colts are gone. So I'm just gonna land on the Patriots. Again, defense, you might want to grab one earlier. I do like the Broncos. The Broncos have a nice schedule to start the year. It looks like the Patriots. Where is New England here? They're at Miami. That could be fine. That's usually a tough game for them. But the Broncos, one of my most targeted defenses, because they're going to go at Seattle, and then week 2, they're going to get to host the Houston Texans. So Denver, a nice sharp defense for you guys to target there. But that's the draft. Let me kind of just recap here. We got Russell Wilson. Our starting running backs are Jonathan Taylor and Javonte Williams. Starting receivers, Cortland Sutton and Juju Smith-Schuster. So we're heavy Broncos. Dawson Knox at the tight end spot. Our flexes look pretty fun. Leonard Fournette and Rashad Bateman. Rodrigo, Patriots defense, whatever. But look at our bench. Christian Kirk, Nyheim Hines, Rondale Moore, George Pickens, Kenneth Gainwell, David Njoku, and DJ Chark. This looks like a really solid lineup here. So this was a lot of fun. Again, if you're new to Sleeper, just go to Sleeper, create an account, run some mock drafts for yourself, try different spots, see what happens, but just get familiar with the ADP. Again, this was my first time with the Sleeper mock. I wish I could redo some picks, specifically A.J. Dillon and maybe target Trey Lance. That's one of my favorite quarterbacks to draft late. But this was fun. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments. If you guys have any recommendations, if you want me to draft like pick 9 in a 10-team league or something like that, I do request and I can make a custom video for you. But that's it. That was a lot of fun. This is just I like running these mock drafts because they're quick. You know, a 15-minute video, bing bang boom, and we're out. So a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you guys in a future video. And yeah, take it easy. Peace.